living over in Japan, my friends had told me, "Wow, Darren, you're beating these challenges on a regular basis. You should start recording for YouTube. People will watch this. It's crazy. It's not normal. We document this." And I was like, "All right," and then that's where it all started, really.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Who's Joe YouTube Edition.
Who's Joe?
Who the is Joe?
Who's Joe?
Who's Joe?
Who's Joe?
Yeah. Who is Joe?
Today I am here with Darron Breeden for our 18th staring contest. And why don't you go ahead and tell us a little about yourself?
Hey, it's nice to be on here, Joe. My name is Darron Breeden. I have a YouTube channel, Darron Eats, and I am the number 3 ranked competitive eater in the world. Aside from that, I'm just a regular average Joe.
So I'm going to go ahead and ask the first question, and I'll let you ponder over it while I do the countdown for the staring contest. But this is the typical first question, is if you could collaborate with anybody on the internet for basically anything, who would you collaborate with? And I will start the countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Alright, so I could collaborate with anyone. Oh, shoot! Wow, I can't believe it. Oh, that was terrible. But, yeah, the question, probably Matt Stoney.
Alright, enough talk. Let's check out the food.
And it's for a shameless reason, because he has 14 million subscribers, and if I collaborated with him and potentially beat him in a eating contest, and I think I could potentially, get a little bit of clout, maybe gain my subscriber base. So, simply put, yeah, that's why I would collaborate with Matt Stoney.
That would be a pretty epic collaboration. When you're doing a video, what's your favorite kind of video to record? Like chug or capacity? Do you have a preference?
Me personally, I like doing the contest videos the most. I enjoy making those the most, and I also enjoy the act of participating in a contest as opposed to doing like a challenge at a restaurant, doing one at home. Because that's my favorite part of being a competitive eater is being out there on the table and competing against other eaters.
I went back and looked through some of your records, and I saw that you ate a 55-ounce burger in 2 minutes and 51 seconds. And all I can ask about that is how?
Where there's will, there's a way. So, for me, I think I always joke around and say it's a good mix of tenacity and stupidity, but it really is. I joke around, but, with the tenacity comes, practice and just never learning to give up. And the stupidity is just, not caring. Like, okay, there's some EMTs on standby. If I choke, I choke. I don't. And that's where the stupidity comes in, really, just the boldness. And I think having a good mix of both, the hard work combined with, the recklessness is what makes a truly successful competitive eater. So all the other guys you interviewed too, I would say they're just as tenacious and stupid.
And I usually say this earlier on in the video, but as most of you know, I am going to try to go the rest of the interview without blinking as well.
Yes, you still haven't blinked yet. I've been watching this entire time. I was like, how in the world is he doing this?
So
I find this to be more impressive than actual eating, but...
Well, I appreciate that. One thing I noticed in one of your videos earlier on is that I don't really see many other competitive eaters address is the aftermath of a competitive eating contest. What is that like for you, and how do you deal with it?
Great question. It really depends, honestly. Anything less than 5 pounds, honestly, even maybe up to 8 pounds, I feel fine. and maybe next few days I'll be going to the bathroom a little more often than usual. Now over 10 plus is where it gets a little iffy. And it really depends on the amount of food or what type of food I'm eating. For instance, one time I ate over 2 gallons of chili, and I definitely made a swift exit off the stage for that one. I'll be honest, that wasn't, the chili was not agreeing with me. But it's okay as long as you don't get sick at the table. That's the rule. So I made it off the table, so we were good. So it just depends really on the amount and type of food. Like hot dogs I've gotten used to, so it's not a big deal. But certain things just don't sit right, or maybe I just don't particularly like and doesn't sit too well with me. I'm trying to think of an instance where, for instance, Carolina Reapers. I mean, I just ate one Carolina Reaper like that once, and that made me sick immediately. I mean, just one little pepper, because I don't know how the crazy chili heads do it, where they have the contest to see how many peppers they can eat. I don't see how they do it, because I ate the one and got sick immediately almost.
So how does the aftermath of certain foods and amounts weigh into how frequently you do videos or challenges, or like how close can you do them together comfortably?
Good question. Once a week, I usually upload one food challenge / any food stunt I do once a week. And usually the other video of the week, usually my Thursday videos, could be something random like could be some kind of an interview, could be like a throwback Thursday going through some old footage. Could be something totally random. I do like to do chugs sometimes. That's chugs, that's just fluid, so that'll right through you. But
So when you do these video challenges, what's been the toughest food for you to eat, or in contests, just in general?
The toughest in general is anything with mass quantity combined with a very strong flavor. That makes it very difficult because the flavor fatigue, or when you get tired of a certain flavor after eating something for so long, that combined with an insane amount of volume makes it extra difficult. For instance, one I did was called the Big Fat Fatty. It's a huge I would say probably 2 foot long. It's at a restaurant out in Hollywood, California called Fat Sal's. And actually, I think Mickey did it. I think she did. But you're given 40 minutes to eat this large sub that's just loaded with everything in the menu, and there's so many conflicting flavors like Philly, you got Philly cheesesteak, salami, I think like 6 burger patties. They just put everything on there, and the flavor gets overwhelming. Like probably the first pound, but the problem is the thing weighs, I would have to say, at least 13 pounds. You have to eat in 40 minutes. So challenges like that are extremely difficult.
So what out of all of the competitive eating contests you've been, what would you say is your favorite competitive eating memory?
Well, I'd have to say the 2019 Nathan's for sure. The 2019 Nathan's hot dog eating contest. I have worked really hard at improving my numbers, and I ended up getting second place like I wanted to, out of a field of, I would say, I think it was 20 to 25 men competing up there for the men's division, and I ended up coming in second place, beating out Matt Stoney, Jeff Esper, Nick Wade, a lot of elite eaters, and then came in second behind Joey. So that was definitely a memorable moment for me. And also for me, winning the oyster contest, the Acme Oyster Eating Contest, they have in Missoula every June. I won that back-to-back 2018 and 2019. So,
of the records you've set, which of those are you the most proud of?
I'd have to say the cheese curds I'm definitely proud of, because they had a one-off cheese curd eating contest, I think it was 2018, and I beat out Joey and Gideon Oji by a pretty decent margin. That was the only one that ate over 5 pounds of it, which doesn't sound like a crazy amount of volume compared to some of the other challenges, but in 6 minutes, I felt that was a good amount, considering they're extremely difficult, because these aren't deep fried cheese curds; they're just straight up, cheese curds. So it's like eating little wax balls.
Oh,
fast as possible.
wow. When I was diving back through your videos, I went all the way back to the first video you made with the 2 kilogram curry challenge. What can you tell us about that?
Yes, that's a great question. That's what sparked it all. That's what got the whole Darron Eats thing started, because when I first did that challenge, I had never done any challenges. I had actually lost a bunch of weight, a little over 100 pounds. And I was living in Japan at the time, and then my birthday came around. It was back in 2015, December of 2015, and for my birthday, my family had asked what I wanted to do. And I was like, you know what? I want to go to this restaurant that has this challenge. I've always wanted to try it. I've watched people like Matt Stoney, Randy Santel, Joey Chestnut, whoever it may be. And now was my chance to see if I could do something like that. Make food until I tried it, and then beat it in like 6-7 minutes, something like that. And then I was like, okay, this is cool. I'm pretty good at it. Get free food for and get some other gifts along with it just for eating a bunch of food. I'm down for this. And then I got into it, and I'm glad I got some of those clips in there, because at first my family was just recording it, and I wasn't planning on starting a YouTube channel. But then when I was living over in Japan, my friends had told me, "Wow, Darren, you're beating these challenges on a regular basis. You should start recording for YouTube. People will watch this. It's crazy. It's not normal. We document this." And I was like, "All right," and then that's where it all started, really.
What do you think of the long form contests that they do over in Japan? Have you been involved in any of those?
Yeah, actually, I did the Battle of the Big Eaters contest that they have on TV Tokyo. I did that December 2019, and Nikki was actually competing. And there was a bit of a learning curve because I wasn't used to it, but I did make it to the final round, thankfully. But one thing I definitely had to learn was how to pace myself through a 1 hour time period. And I remember the first round we were eating pieces of sushi, and I remember the first 10 minutes or so, I had a huge lead on everyone because I was eating major league eating style, like at Nathan's, just going hard, and I had blasted through like over 120 pieces of sushi. But then Amnesty was like, all right, we're 10 minutes in, Darren's killing it. Now we have 35 more minutes remaining. I'm like, I'm already starting to kind of feel it, and like I'm working hard, and I somehow managed to pull off second place. But I learned that I definitely need to pace myself a little more, and sort of the liquid intake, because liquid takes up precious real estate in the gut too.
Now on your channel, you do a wide variety of foods, like from huge burritos to curry. When you're deciding what you want to do in one of your videos, how do you make that decision? What's your creative process for going into making a video?
Great question. Honestly, there's a lot of different ways to come up with an idea for these challenges. Might ask, friends, including competitive eating friends, civilian friends, as I like to call them. Ask my girlfriend, ask, family. Sometimes I'll just be shopping in Walmart for regular groceries, and I'll see something like, oh, that looks pretty cool, and then I'll think like, maybe I can make, like, for instance, if I see like a big Hershey's bar or something like that, like, ooh, cool, that could make for a good challenge video. Or if I see someone else's video, I'm like, ooh, that's a cool idea. How can I make the Darron Eats twist on that challenge? So a lot of different things can inspire.
Well, I think we've got enough content right now. I will do what I've gotten everybody else to do at this point, with me being 18-0 now, is I'm going to get you to say, I was not able to beat Joe in a staring contest.
Yes, I was not able to beat Joe in a staring contest by a long shot.
I have now gone right around 24 minutes without blinking.
I don't see how you did. That's insane. See, I find this to be more fascinating than us eating a bunch of food. I don't know how you do it.
I found out this was something I was good at a while ago, but I was like, I have to find a way to make it entertaining. Like, nobody's going to want to watch me stare at the screen for an hour. So obviously, I have to find some way to add a hook to it to do the add entertainment. And I kind of got the idea. Have you heard of the interview show Hot Ones?
It's the show with hot questions and even hotter wings.
Oh yes, I have.
I kind of got the idea from him, is where he interviews people while they're eating spicy hot wings. I interview people while we have a staring contest.
I love it. I mean, keep up the great work. I watch your other interviews and some of your other videos. All grade A, top notch content. Love it. And I still don't see how you do it. It's so mind blowing.
All right, so who would you like to call out to sit on the other side and be in a staring contest video with me?
I would like to call out a good friend of mine, Wayne Algenio. He's my competitive eating coach. He's a competitive eater himself, and he's got a YouTube channel. Funny guy, and I think he has some great insight to offer. So,
Well, I would definitely love to have him on. What do you have to talk about? What would you like to plug?
I'll just plug my YouTube channel. Once again, my name is Darron Breeden. YouTube channel Darron Eats, because my name is Darron, and I want to eat. So make sure to check it out. Like, share, and subscribe, and super.
That's going to be it for this episode of Who's Joe YouTube Edition. If you haven't already liked the video, go ahead and do that. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, go ahead and do that. If you have not already subscribed to Darron Eats, go ahead and do that. We will sit here and stare at you until you go down and click that link, subscribe, and come back. Alrighty, there's going to be one video down here at the bottom left that I've recommended, one video down here at the bottom right that YouTube has recommended. Watch one of them, watch both of them, watch all of them, watch all of Darron Eats videos, and we'll see you the next time.